Hello guys, this is Mr. Ibrahim the trader of Gova Trading Academy. So today I'm going to be showing you some examples on risk management, all right? Now some of these things I've already shown you guys before, but let me just repeat it again on this video. All right, so risk management. Now on this risk management, let us assume we are trading on GBP card. So I'm going to be using GBP card as an example. So using GBP card for this example, let's say market price on GBP card is this. This is how to calculate pips. All right, guys. So this is how to calculate pips on MetaTrader 4, or whether it's a MetaTrader 4 or whether it's on a MetaTrader 5. So if it is on a MetaTrader 4, it is the same process. So let us assume GBP card, the market price for GBP card is this 1.7. So let us assume that this is the market price for GBP card. Now, and this market price is usually in points. It is usually mentioned in points. So let us assume that this is 1.7272450. So, and this is in points. This is in points. This is in points. All right. So what about in pips? In pips, whenever you are calculating pips, it is going to be, this is going to be equals to, this is going to be equals to 1.7235. So in this area, this is how to calculate pips. So this is now pips. Okay, this is pips now. So by calculating this in pips, it means that you guys, you are throwing the last number out. You can see the last number here. You are throwing it out. You are throwing it out. So by throwing it out, it means we have what we have here. Okay. So let's say, for example, whenever you put in your proximal line and distal line, and then on your proximal line, this is what you see. For example, on your proximal line, the point on your proximal line is this, and the point on your distal line is this. So let us assume the point you see on your proximal line is, let's say on your proximal line you saw 8.9, and on your distal line, you saw, on your distal line you saw 92925. You see, let's say let's assume you saw 925. So this is points. This is 879 points. So this is going to be 879 points. And this one here is going to be 925 points. Remember, this is on your proximal line. This is on the proximal 0.0 line. And this one here is on the distal line 100.0. Okay, so now this is in points. What about in pips? What is going to be the answer in pips? So the answer in pips is going to be this one, and the answer in pips is going to be, this is the answer. Always throw out the last figure inside the point. The last figure here is 9. The last figure here is 9. So we are going to cancel it out. We don't need it. Okay. So now how many pips is this? So it means that this is 87 pips. This is 87 pips. Do you understand? So that is how to calculate pips. Always throw out the last number away. That is how to calculate your pips. So we are done with this example. Let's move on to the other example. On the other example, you can see we have 925 points. So the last number here is 5. The last number here is 5. So we are going to cancel out 5. What do we have left? What we have left is this. It means that we have 92 pips. It means that what we have left is 92 pips. Do you understand, guys? 92 pips. So guys, that is how to calculate your pips on either MT4 or MT5 by throwing the last number away, by throwing the last number out. So let's look at some examples on the chart. Let's look at some examples on the chart. So going to the candlestick chart now, let us look at the example. All right, guys, so let us look at this example. Let us assume that this is your zone on GBP card or any other pair you are trading. Let us assume that this is your zone. You happen to mark your proximal line. So after marking your proximal line, right now, this video is not to teach you how to mark proximal line or distal line. This video is just to teach you about risk management, okay? So let us assume that after you've done your analysis, you are done with your analysis. So what you are doing next is to calculate your risk reward ratio on your trade. Now, first of all, after doing your analysis, remember this area has not happened yet. As at the time you were doing the analysis, let us assume that this area has not happened yet. Let us assume that this area here has not happened yet. It is still yet to happen. Okay. So if this area has not happened yet, then it means that what we have is a formation of a drop, base, and a rally in price here, right? And a rally in price there. So to calculate your risk management trade on the first area, whenever you see the zone, it means you should calculate from the area where price, the origin when price rally up. That is where you should first calculate. You can see that market price, first of all, rally up into this area and before it starts to consolidate, right? So part of this consolidation is not what we care about. We don't care about this area because it is not part of the rally in price. What we care about is the movement in price here. So remember, as I've said, what we need is just to see the rally in price from here to here is what we need to calculate. Do you understand? So we need to calculate from the proximal line. We need to calculate it from the proximal line all the way up to where market price rallied up in a strong way, going up. So if you have from your proximal line, market price went up like this, and the market price start to do something like this, all these areas here, you won't calculate it as part of the calculation. The only area you're going to calculate is from here to here. The only area you're going to calculate is from here, from this point to this point. That is the only area making sense around the area, because that is the only area that showed a massive rally in price going up. So the rest of this area here is not part of it, because the rest of this area is just consolidation. Okay, so just to be clear on that. So it means that the first area that's rallied up must be at least 1:3 in size. It must be minimum of at least 1:3 before you assume to take the trade. You understand? If it is below 1:3, don't take the trade. It means it is not strong enough. So you can see, let us calculate this one. Let us see if this one is going to be at least 1:3 in size. So let us see. So remember, first of all, remember this area has not happened yet. As at the time of our analysis, all these areas are not there. So what we have is this area, proximal line, and then the highest area where price rallied to. So let us calculate it using our cross, our forest cross here. So using the forest cross, you can see, using the cross here, from the proximal line. So let me erase this a little bit. So I need you guys to see the points, the pips. So before that, focus on this circle here. Focus your eyes inside this circle. Okay, put your eyes inside here. Focus inside this circle. Now let us calculate pips on the MT4 or MT5. So to calculate pips, how many points is this? How many points are you seeing in the circle? Or let me redo the circle again to fit only the points we need in the area. So now again, let me go back to it again. So let's say like this. So how many points can you guys see here? How many points can you see here? You can see in this area we have, let's say we have 402 points. You can see this is 402 points, 402 points. So that is in points. What about in pips? What about in pips? So in pips, this is going to be throwing the last number out. Throwing the last number out here, the last number here is number 2. So the last number here is 2, which means that in pips, this is going to be 40 pips in pips. This is going to be 40 pips, okay? So another example, this is going to be, you can see this is going to be 54 pips, because the last number is 5. So this is going to be 54 pips. So you can see this is going to be 52 pips, because the last number is 4. So this is going to be 484 points. But in pips, this is going to be, so this is 486 points. So in pips, this is going to be 48 pips. 48 pips. So my keynote here is that always throw the last number out whenever you are calculating pips, okay, on the MT5 or MT4. Now let's move on quickly. So it means that how many pips are we having here, guys? From here, from the first of all, always calculate it from the proximal line. Whatever you are calculating, make sure you always calculate it starting from the proximal line. So from the proximal line, let us calculate it all the way up into this high area here. So you can see this is 752 points, 752 points. So on this 7, you can see this is 758 points, 758 points. So this 758 points, now the last number here is 8. So it means that 758. Okay, let's say this is 760 points. So the last number here is 0, which means this is 76 pips. Okay. What about this? This is 754 points. The last number here is 4, which means this is 75 pips. So it means that this area is having how many pips? This area is having 744 points. So in pips, this is going to be 74 pips. Starting from the proximal line. Also, make sure you put the proximal line properly. Make sure you put it properly to be properly placed on the proximal line. So, and then let's calculate. So you can see this area is 760 pips, 760 points. So 760 points, but in pips, this is going to be 76 pips. Okay, the last number here is 0. So we are canceling the last number, which is 0. So what we have left is 76 pips. Okay. So guys, that is how to calculate your pips. That is how to calculate your pips. All right. Always throw the last number out, and what you have left is what you should calculate. So you can see from here to here, from this area up to this area here is 76 pips. 76 pips. So this area, let us calculate this area to this area. Let us calculate this area, which is the risk in size. Let us see how many pips it is. So you can see this one on the first area here is 76 pips. So let's see the other area, how many pips it is. So starting from the proximal line, all the way up to the distal line, you can see this is 227 points. So, but in pips, this is going to be 22 pips. This is 22 pips. So it means that this is 22. So what about risk management? How to know this risk management? Here you can see the next thing to do is to say what you need to do next is this. After you determine the pips here, and after determining the pips here, then the next thing you need to do is to divide the figures, these two figures, which means 76 divided by 22 is what? Use your calculator, guys. Use your calculator. So 76 divided by 2. 76 divided by 22. You can see this is 1:3. This is 76 divided by 22 is on the calculator. It is giving us, always use your calculator, okay? Don't use your heart or something. Always use your calculator. So this is 73.454545454545 etc, right? So from that point, from that area where we have the point, always cancel that area out. We don't need this area. We don't need it. Cancel it out, okay? We don't need it. What we need is the 3. What we need is 3. So it means that on this trade is giving us 1:, what? This trade is giving us 1:3. 1:3. So it means on this trade we are having a risk-reward ratio, which means RRR of 1:3. Now, what is RRR, you might ask? RRR means risk-reward ratio. Okay, risk-reward ratio. That is what RRR means. Okay. Now, let's see if there's another example. Let's assume we have hold on, guys. So let us assume the pips here. Let's assume, hold on, let me erase this area out. So let us assume in this area, what we have left, what we have is The calculator is giving us, for example, this is just a rough example. Let's say we have 9, here, 960, 3, let's say we have 3, 903. So what we have is 960 and 3, for example. That is what the calculator was giving us. So what we have is 3.9603. So you can see approximately this is going to be, when you approximate this 9, it is going to be 4. This area is going to be 4 instead of 3. This 3 here is going to turn to 4. So don't approximate anything here, guys. Don't approximate anything here, okay? Make sure you leave it the way it is. The only thing you need to do is to throw out the dots. From the dots, throw them out, throw the figures out in that area. So, and that is how to calculate your pips whenever you are analyzing the market in the first area, okay? All right, guys. So that is it on how to calculate your risk whenever you're analyzing the first area. Whenever you're analyzing the first area, which is what I mean by the first area is whenever you're analyzing the first area here. By analyzing the first area here, you want to know whether this zone is worth it or not, because you don't want to be taking zones that are below 1:3 in size. You don't want to be taking zones that are below 1:3 in size. You understand? Now, what if markets came back to your zone, which is an example of what we have here? What if markets came back to your zone? Then after markets came back to your zone, what should you do? What should you do? How do you calculate your risk reward ratio? How do you calculate the profit you made on the trade in pips? How do you calculate it? Now, this is how to calculate it. You need to first of all put your crosshair tool on the proximal line. Put your crosshair tool on the proximal line, then drag it down into the distal line, drag it down into the distal line, which is here, and calculate how many pips it is. Calculate how many pips it is. So let us do that. So using the cross, I'm going to put the cross on my proximal line here, as you can see. Also, make sure you are placing it properly. You can see right now it is not properly placed. So make sure you put it properly and then drag it down. You can see the way to drag it. You can drag it. So let me just drag it to the distal line. So this is on the dragging it to the distal line right now. You can see this is 227 points. So, but in pips, this is 22 pips. This is 22 pips. So you might ask, where are you talking about, Mr. Ibrahim? Now, this is where I'm talking about, guys. Look at this circle here. You should be able to see the area I'm talking about inside that circle. So look at it again. Let's do it again. So you can see this is 227 points. So in pips, this is 22 pips. This is 22 pips risk in pips. That's 22 pips risk, okay? So it means that this area is giving us a 22 pips risk, 22 pips risk. Now, after calculating that area, then you need to also calculate from the proximal line all the way up to the area where market price went to in profit, to the highest area where market price went to in profit. You need to calculate it. So let us assume that as at the time we were calculating it, this area was not there. As at the time, let us assume that this area here was not there. So let us assume that this the highest area when price rallied up in profits, the highest area is this area. Hold on, guys. So let us assume that the highest area when price rallied up in profits, let us assume that the highest area was this level here. Can you see? So let's calculate it from here to here, how many pips it is. So again, put your proximal line at the proximal line area, drag it up. When you drag it up, you need to drag it up to the wicks that we are having in the area here. You need to drag it and check it there. Okay, so let me do that again. Now, from the proximal line, remember, calculate from the proximal line and then drag it all the way up. Drag it all the way up. Now, when you drag it all the way up, you should see that this is 2006 points. This is 2006 points. So on this 2006 points, the last figure here is 6. The last figure is 6. So how many pips do we have here? It means the pips we have here is 200 pips on this trade, on the profit here. This is about 200 pips, okay? So if it is 200 pips that you can see, it means we have 200 pips reward, and then we have 2 pips risk. We have 2 pips risk. Now, what you need to do is to divide these together. 22 divided by 200 is going to be what? Use your calculator. Always use your calculator. Don't try to use your brain in calculating for the answer. You understand? So 200 divided by 22 is giving us 9.0909090. So remember, I told you guys that from the dot, always throw this area out. We don't need it. Always throw it out. We don't need it. Okay. So what we need, the only one we need is this 9 here. This 9 is the only thing we need. So it means that on this trade, what we are having on this trade is 1:1:9 on this trade. 1:9. 1:9. So which means we are having a risk-reward ratio, and ratio, which is known as RRR, of what? Of 1:9. All right. So that is how to calculate your risk-reward ratio on a trade, and so on and so forth. So guys, all right, guys. So let's continue from where we stopped. So let's use this other zone as an example now. So let us use this other zone here as an example. So let's assume that is a new zone that we have as we are analyzing the markets. Now we finished doing the analysis on this market. So right now, to be able to know if this zone is a good zone or not, if this is a good zone or not, then we need to calculate from here to here. You can see from the proximal line all the way up to this area, we need to calculate it to see if it is up to 1:3. If it is up to 1:3, then it means this trade is good to take. This trade is good to take. But if it is not up to 1:3, if it is below 1:3, then it means that this trade is not good to take. You understand? I'm not saying right now you should take this trade. I'm just showing you an example of how risk management works whenever you are done analyzing the market. You understand? On your side. Okay. So let's calculate the risk on this trade in pips. So from the proximal line, you can see the way I bring out the cross here. Look at this is what we call the cross. Can you see that is the cross? Okay. So we always use the cross to calculate our risk-reward ratio and so on and so forth. Do you understand? So that is what you should always use, the cross. Always use the cross. Okay. So click on the cross. When you click on the cross, then bring it to your zone. Now, when you bring the cross to your zone, you can see, put it on the proximal line. When you put it on the proximal line, then drag it down a little bit to the distal line. Now on the distal line here, you can see this is also a 22 pips risk, as you can see. So let us write the risk. Make sure you always keep note of the risk so that you won't forget what amount in pips it is. Always write it down. Maybe you have a journal, a book, you can put it in your journal and so on and so forth. You can just write it quickly on your journal and then calculate the reward, calculate the area, the highest area where price rallied to, not the reward, okay? The area where price rallied to, which is this area. We are not calculating this area because market price consolidated around here, so we are not calculating it, okay? So always calculate the area where price rallied up with a momentum movement going up in a straight way. You can see how straight market went up in this area. So always calculate it from that area. Now let us calculate it using the cross again. So I'm going to put the cross on my proximal line, and then I'm going to drag it all the way up to the area here. So, and this is about 85 pips. You can see the last number here is 3, which means that we have 85 pips left. So this is 85 pips. So it means indirectly and directly, it means that from this area to this area is what? Is 85 pips. 85 pips. So it means that 85 divided by what? 85 divided by 22. 85 divided by 22 is going to give us risk-reward ratio, what and what? It is going to give us risk-reward ratio, 1 ratio what? So let us calculate it using our calculator. Remember, I told you guys to always use your calculator. So this is going to be 85 divided by 22. 85 divided by 22. That's the answer the calculator gave is 3.3636 etc. So remember, I told you guys to always cancel this area out. We are not using this area. What we need is just 3. So it means this trade is giving us 1:3, which means we are good to go to take this trade. We are good to go to take the trade. It is good. It is a good trade, and it is a good rally in price. So we can go ahead and take it. Now, what if market price happens to come back to our zone? What if market price happens to come back to our zone here? When market price come back to our zone here, and then market price rallied up into this area, so what should we do? What you should do is to calculate your risk-reward ratio again. Now, you should be able to see that from the proximal line, you have 22 pips as the risk on proximal line to distal line. Now, also, you need to calculate the risk, the reward rather. You need to calculate the reward. The reward should be from the proximal line all the way up to this area where market price rallied to. So you can see that is the area where market price rallied to. So let's calculate it from the proximal line to the area where market price rallied to. Let's see how many pips it is. So that area is how many pips? The area is 161 pips. 161 pips, because the last number here is 3. The last number here is 3. How did I get this number? Remember, look at this area. Look at this area. When you look at this area, you should be able to see what I see. So again, from the proximal line again, drag it all the way up to the highest point where market price rally. So you can see what we have here is 161 pips. The last number is 3, as you can see. The last number is 3. So in pips, this is 161 pips, okay? So it means that from this area to this area is 161 pips. The risk is what? From here to here, which is the risk, from here to here, the risk is what? 22 pips risk, 22 pips risk. Now, what you need to do is to divide it together. 161 divided by 22 pips. It is going to give us risk reward ratio, what and what. So let us calculate it together using our calculator. So always use the always use the your normal phone calculator. So 161 divided by 22 is, the calculator gave us 7 point, the calculator gave us 7.3318181, and so on and so forth. So remember, I told you guys to always throw this area out. We don't need this. What we need is just the 7. The 7 is what we need. So it means that on this trade, we are having risk reward ratio of 1:7 on this trade. Okay, 1:7 on this trade. So it means that the profit is 7 reward profits, and this one here is just 1 risk. 1 risk times 7 in 7 places. Do you understand? In 7 places. So that is what it means. So that is it, guys. If you have any question, any other question than this, then you can ask me a question in the group. Now, the last thing we need to discuss about this risk management here is that some of you might have heard that I told you guys I usually calculate 3 pips below my distal line and 2 pips above my proximal line sometimes in my trades. Now, this is how to do it. Remember, 3 pips below your distal line for a buy trade, 3 pips for a buy trade, and then 2 pips above your proximal line in a buy trade. Okay, in a buy trade. Now, how do we calculate 2 pips? Now, to calculate the pips, we need to use the cross again. Put the cross on the proximal line, drag it a little bit. You can see what we have here is 26 points. We have 21 points. You can see we have 16 points here. So how many points do we have inside these 2 pips? You can see we have 21, 26. So 21 and 26 is what we have out of these 2 pips. So which one should you use? Should you use 21 points or should you use 26 points? So guys, always use the last point. Always use the lowest point. So 26 points or 21 points. So 21 points is the 2 pips we are going to choose here. Okay? Is the 2 pips we are going to choose. 21 points is the 2 pips we are going to choose. So what is the market price on these 21 points, which is 2 pips? So the market price on this 21 points, which is 2 pips, is 1.7009. You can see 1.7009. So it means the price here is 1.7000 and 9. That is our 2 pips price. Okay, you need to write it down. After writing it down, then calculate the distal line again. You need to calculate the distal line. So the distal line is going to be from the distal line down below. Calculate it from the distal line down below. So you need to calculate 3 pips. So 3 pips is, you can see we have 31 points, we have 36 points. You can see we have 31 points, 36 points. So the lowest number out of this 31 and 36 is 31. So 31 points is the lowest. So always use the lowest one as your pips, okay? So this one here is 3 pips. So the 31 points here is 3 pips. So which is, the market price here is 1.69730. 1.69730. 1.69730. 1.69730. So after you know the figures of your 2 pips and 3 pips, then the next thing to do is to mark out the number on this horizontal line here. Right click on the horizontal line, click on properties of horizontal line. When you click on the properties of horizontal line, then you should be able to see this window. You should be able to see this window. Now go to this window. Under this window, go to parameters. Under parameters, go to value. Okay, go to value. So for the value, the first value we had on the 2 pips is 1.70009. Then click on OK. So that is the price for our 2 pips. So when we go back to the chart, you should be able to see that market, the horizontal line here, you can see there's a green line here, right? So the horizontal line here is exactly on the 2 pips market price we had in this area. It's exactly on the 2 pips price we had in that area. So you need to double click on this line. You need to double click on the line. Make sure you double click on it because you need to lock you need to lock it. You need to lock the line. So let me lock the line. So I've locked the line. Now this is 2 pips. So it means that let's calculate the 3 pips again because I forgot the figure. Let's calculate the 3 pips again. So 3 pips is going to be 1.69730, 1.69730. So let's go and pick up the horizontal line again and input 1.69730 on the parameters. Okay. 1.69730. 1.69730, and then click on enter, click on OK. Okay, then go back to your charts. Then you should be able to see that this is the 3 pips. Okay, you can see this here is our 2 pips and this here is our 3 pips. So overall, the risk we are taking right now overall, it means that from the 2 pips to the 3 pips is 27 pips now. This is 27 pips now. Do you know why we got 27 pips? Remember, the original zone risk was 22 pips. So 22 plus the 5 pips we added, it is 27 pips, equals to 27 pips. So the zone here is 27 pips. Do you understand? And that is what you should use on your Forex calculator if you are using the Forex calculator, for example. Okay. So now the figures we got here on these 2 pips and the 3 pips, whenever you want to calculate the risk reward ratio on your position size to know the lot size that you want to use. Now let us go to the Forex calculator. Okay, let's go to the Forex calculator. So this is the Forex calculator here on the website. I sent you guys the link of this website. So right now you can see the account balance, the account currency is USD. So whatever account currency you have as your base currency on your account balance, as your account balance currency on either your MT4 or MT5, that is what you should use here. Mostly it is usually Euro USD or Euro or GBP. So that is the most popular account balance currency used by traders. So most traders usually use USD. So just leave it on USD. Let's assume the account balance, whatever account balance you have, put it here. Whatever account balance you have, put it in this column, okay? So let us assume that we are using $1,000 as an example. So let's say you have $1,000 in your trading account, which is MT4 or MT5 trading account. Now, let's assume how much did you want to risk on the trade, on one trade? Remember, I told you not to risk more than 1% of one trade, maximum of 2% on one trade. Okay, so but I like using 1%. Personally, I like using 1% to risk on my trades. Okay, so you can put 1% here. You can see when you put one, it is already in percent. Okay, so it means 1% of 1,000 is what? Use your calculator. 1% times 1,000 is equals to what? Let's see. 1% times 1,000 equals to what? 1% times 1,000. So that's $10. Okay, that's $10. That's $10. Now that is it. On this $10 is the risk that we are taking on each trade. Any trade you take, $10 is the risk. Any trade you take, $10 is what you are risking. Okay, so what if you want to use money, you want to switch this area to money? When you switch it to money, you can see this as it has turned here to money here. So just put in the amount you want to risk in money. So just 1%. 1% is still a $10 amount here. It is the same. Okay, whether you use 1% or whether you use $10, it is the same amount. So now, what about this area? You can see this area says that stop loss in pips. Stop loss in pips. So remember, on the zone that we had, going back to the MT5 again, remember, this zone is overall a 27 pips zone. This is a 27 pips zone. Remember, 22 pips plus 5 pips is 27 pips. Okay, so let's go back to the Forex calculator again, and then we are going to put in 27 pips here, 27 pips. So 27 pips is what we are risking on our stop loss. Okay, so let me put it 27. Okay, now remember the pair we are analyzing. So whatever currency you are analyzing, put the name of the currency here. Okay, put the name of the currency here. You can search for the name of the currency through the drawdown by looking at the drawdown here. You can see there are many currencies here. So these are the only currencies you can use the Forex calculator on. All right, so that is it. Now, what about this area? On this area, it is asking you to put the market price, current market price. Put current market price on this column here. So let me see what the current market price is for GBP card. Now you have to be fast on the current market price. So the current market price, as you can see this is the current market price here. Look at it. You can see the current market price here is 1.710 1.71021 1.71021 1.71021 1.71021. So I'm going to put 1.71021. That is the current price. Even though it is moving, it doesn't matter so far as you can get the closer price that is for the current price. So the next thing to do, after inputting all these figures in the area, after putting the right parameters in all these areas, okay, after you've done putting all the parameters needed, then you should be able to click on calculate. Click on what? Click on calculate, so that the calculator can calculate the risk you should take by lot size. So if I click on calculate, the calculator should be able to give me the lot size to use, okay, on the trade. So you can see right now, the calculator has given me the lot size to use. You can see the calculator is telling me that I'm risking 1%. I'm risking 1%, as you can see. And also, in lot size, you can see this is what we need to focus on. The lot size to use, this is the lot size to use. So 0.063 hold on, sorry. So this is 0.063, 0.06 and 3. So if in the MetaTrader, we cannot put these 3 on the MetaTrader. So we are going to cancel these 3 out. So what we can put on the MetaTrader is this. What we can put on the MetaTrader is 0.06, 0.06. So this is the lot size to use to be able to lose or make money on the $10 risk we took. Okay. So that is it, guys. That is it. So 0.06 is going to make us lose $10 amount on our account. Okay. So then we go into MT5. We go into MT5 or MT4, and then we input this figure 0.06 as our lot size for a buy trade. Okay. Which is going to be, this trade is going to be a buy limit trade. Remember, this is a pending order. So we are going to put in a buy limit on our MT5 or MT4, put in a buy limit order of 0.06 lot size. 0.06 lot size. Do you understand? So that is it, guys. That is it. That is it. So also on the MT5, use this figure. Use this figure here as your entry price, which is 1.7009. That is the entry price. Okay, that is the entry price. That's the entry price. That's the entry price. Entry price. So stop loss price is, this is your stop loss price. Okay, so stop loss price is 1.6769, 1.69730. That's the stop loss in price. Okay, so it means you should put this on your stop loss on your buy limit area. Okay, so that is it. So this is stop loss SL. That is for the figure for the stop loss. And then when you are done, then you click on the trade and enter the trade pending order and enter the trade pending order. So the example I showed you guys just now is the same example we usually use in a sell trade situation. Okay, in a sell trade situation, it is the same example we usually use. So let's say, for example, this is a sell trade situation. Now on this sell trade, let's say our zone is here. Now on the zone, let's assume this is the zone. So how many pips risk is here? Let's calculate from the proximal line, down to the up to the distal line here. So the risk here is 27 pips risk. So it means automatically, it means that 27 plus 5 is going to be what? So calculate it. You need to, because right now we are, you remember we are adding the 2 pips and 3 pips. So if we are adding the 2 pips and 3 pips, it means that 27 plus 5 is going to be what? Is going to be 32. So it means this trade is 32 pips trade, 32 pips. So on the Forex calculator, you need to put in 32 as your stop loss in pips, okay? So that is how to do it. So the risk reward ratio, you need to calculate from the proximal line down to up to the distal line here. You have 27 pips. 27 pips plus your additional 3 pips above the distal line, and then calculate 2 pips below the proximal line for a sell trade. And then for this area, you need to calculate from this area to this area, what is the risk? Is this up to 1:3? Yeah, this is up to 1:3 if you calculate it. So what about the reward? How many pips is the reward, for example, on this trade? So this trade is giving us, let me mark it properly. So let's say this trade is giving us, for example, a reward. You can see market price came here. So market price dropped down all the way down into this area here, into this area. So what is the reward from this area to that area? What is the reward? Let us calculate it using the cross. So it means from the proximal line all the way down to the lowest area where price dropped down to. So this in pips, this is 187 pips. This is 187 pips. 187 pips. So 187 pips divided by 27, which is the original pips. Whenever you are dividing it, don't add the 5 pips to it. So it means 187 divided by 27 is, this trade is giving us risk-reward ratio of 1:, the Forex calculator, 187 divided by 180, the calculator on my phone says 187 divided by 27 is equals to 6.9259 and so. So remember, I told you guys to always throw this area out. We don't need it. So what we need is just the 6. So what it means that on this trade we are having 1:6 on this trade. Okay, 1:6 on this trade. So guys, that is how to apply risk management in your trades. Okay, that is how to apply risk management in your trades properly. And also, whenever you are risking an amount, make sure you are not changing the amount you are risking. Let's say, for example, you happen to take 10 trades, for example. So if you happen to take 10 trades, for example, what are you expecting in the market if you are taking 10 trades? So let's say this is 10 trades here. Let's say the account balance you have is $1,000 account, or let's say it is $100 account. Or let us continue using the $1,000 as a point of reference. So let's say our account balance is $1,000. $1,000, that's the account balance on this example. So now remember the minimum risk reward ratio for a profit. Remember it must be 1:3, minimum of 1:3. It must be minimum of 1:3. Okay. Now, if it is 1:3, it means that the profit is going to be the risk. First of all, what is the 1% of 1,000? 1% of 1,000. 1% of 1,000 is equals to 1% of 1,000 is equals to 10. Is equals to $10. Is equals to $10. So it means that the reward is going to be 3 times. It is going to be 3 times. Remember, we need minimum of 1:3. So it means 10 times 3, that's 30. Okay. The profit we are expecting is going to be 30. Do you understand? So that's going to be $30. $30 reward. $30 reward. Now, let us, on a scale of 1 to 10, on a scale of 1 to 10, remember we are risking $10 per trade. So let us assume we are taking 10 trades here. So let us assume we are taking 10 trades. So this is how risk management works. So out of these 10 trades now, out of these 10 trades that we are taking, let us assume that this is what is going to happen. So the first trade, on the first trade here, you happen to lose $10 on the first trade. On the second trade, you lose another $10 on the second trade. On the third trade, you lose another $10 on the third trade. Now, what some people are going to be doing now is, after losing 3 consecutive times, some people emotions is not strong enough to hold down what is currently happening. Even though they have a very good strategy, then their emotion is going to start playing around their mind. Their emotion is going to start playing with their mind that, hey, you've lost 3 times now. You need to recover. You need to recover. So to recover, some who don't have a strong emotional hold of their self are going to risk $30 just to be able to recover the loss. So they decided to risk $30. After risking $30 on the next trade, instead of making profit, they happen to make another loss. So you can see your loss is multiplying from a $30 before to a what? To a $60 loss now. So you can see this is not how to apply risk management. So whenever you want to apply risk management, you have to do it throughout. You have to apply the risk you are taking throughout your trade. You have to apply the risk you are taking throughout your trade. So let's do it. Let's redo it again. Let me redo it again. So let us assume we are taking 10 trades again. So let's say this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's assume you are taking 10 trades. Okay. Now on these 10 trades, the first trade you took, you lose $10. The second trade, you lose another $10. The third trade, you lose another $10 again. The fourth trade again, you lose another $10. You can see someone here is about to give up in forex because he is losing 4 consecutive times. So his emotion is not strong enough to determine that this trade, I'm just losing right now, but a trade is going to recover everything for me using my order flow strategy that I understand perfectly well. Because without understanding order flow strategy perfectly well, don't have the confidence of doing something like this until you have the confidence of your analysis. That is why I recommend you to practice, practice, practice. Then after you are perfect with order flow analysis, then you are confident that whatever happens to the analysis, whether it hits stop loss, then it means that hitting stop loss is normal. But if you don't understand order flow in the first place, hitting stop loss should not be normal to you because you don't know what is normal yet. You don't know what is normal yet. But for example, right now, as I am, Mr. Ibrahim, the mentor, if I hit stop loss on a trade, I know that it is not because my analysis was not good. I know that it is just the shit that happens sometimes in the market, right? So, but what if you are a complete new trader to the market and you happen to hit stop loss on your trade? You see, for such individual's point is that he might not even do the analysis properly. Maybe that is why he lost the money. You might not even do the analysis properly. Maybe that's why you lose the money. So, but what if you happen to understand order flow perfectly well? Then even if you are losing consecutive times like this, then don't worry, don't shake. Okay, don't shake. Just continue trading. Don't You cannot use these 3 trades to determine your career in trading. You understand? You cannot use these 4 trades to determine whether you want to be profitable or whether you are going to be profitable or not. You have to take series of trades within 1 week or 2 weeks or 1 month before you can determine that you are profitable or not. Some people, after taking 2 trades, and they just automatically determine that they are not profitable. So that is not how market works. Okay, you have to be consistent with the risk. Don't change the risk. Okay, you can see how I'm consistent with the risk here. $10 risk, $10 risk, $10 risk. So don't change the risk. You understand? Now on the 5th trade, I happen to make a profit of $30 on the 5th trade. On the 6th trade, I happen to lose another $10 on the 6th trade. Now on the 7th trade, I lose another $10 on the 7th trade. On the 8th trade, I happen to make another profit of $30. On the 9th trade, I happen to lose another $10 on the 9th trade. But on the 10th trade, I happen to make profit of $30 on the 10th trade. So how many times did you lose? You lose 7 times. You happen to lose 7 times. How many times did you make profit? How many times did you make profit? So let's see how many times you make profit. Let me just delete this area out. Now, how many times did you make profits? You made profit 3 times. So you can see even when you are right about 30%, you were still profitable even after losing 70%. Can you see? Even after losing 70%. So now let us calculate it. We first of all, you can see this $30 here has erased 3 losses here, has erased this one, it has erased this one, it has erased this one. So the next $30, this $30 here has erased this one, has erased this loss, it has erased this loss. Okay, so we have one $30 left. So this $30 here has erased this loss here. So how much do we have left? You can see we have $20 left, right? We have $20 left. So you can see we still have $20 profit left on this trade. So it means that we lose, how much did we lose? We lose $70. It means that the $10 we lose here is equivalent to $70, and then the profit we made is equivalent to 3 times profit that we made. So that's 30 times 3. So and that is $90 profit. Okay, so we are going to minus the 90 from the 70. Okay, so therefore, so it means therefore, let me just put therefore there, not a sign. So let's say therefore 90 minus 70 minus 70 is equals to what? 90 minus 70, you can see it is equals to what? It is equals to 20, which is the $20 that we had just the other time. So you can see at the end of the day, even after losing 7 times, you were still able to make a profit of $20 in the area. So now, how much is your account balance now? Now, the new account balance, remember the old account balance is the old account balance previously was a $1,000 account previously. So, but now the new account balance now is equals to 1,000 and $20. Can you see? So you can see you've made profit even after losing 7 times. You still manage to make profit even after losing 7 times. So that is how to apply risk management. And how are you able to make profit even after losing 7 times? That is because you decided to stick with the risk you are making, which is the $10 risk you are making. You stick with it, you didn't change it. You understand? I can only change it after doubling the account. Maybe I turn the account from 1,000 to maybe $1,500. Then you can decide to change the risk. Or maybe I turn the account from 1,000 to 1,500, or from 1,500 to $2,000 account. Then that is the time you can decide to change the risk you are taking. But without doubling the account, don't change the risks. You understand? Stick with the risk you are taking throughout until you double the account that you are taking trade on. Also, you don't have to trade every single day. That is one thing part. That is also part of risk management. Don't trade every single day if you are not seeing opportunity in the market. Don't force any trade that is not trying to work. Okay. So I think that is it, guys. If you have any question about risk management, again, ask me properly on the Telegram group. Okay. So this is Mr. Ibrahim, the trader of Gova Trading Academy.